story about people and the environment. Climate change, deforestation, desertification, coral reef die-offs, freshwater scarcity, soil loss, biodiversity loss. In fact, the loss of ecosystems everywhere because of people. We all know that story. Even though we're the source of these problems, we are also the solution. One of the thorniest problems that we face is how do we feed the world without destroying the earth? Imagine a fishing village. It could be in West Africa or Latin America or Southeast Asia, where the fishery has been totally depleted. People can't catch fish anymore, so they turn to deforestation, cutting mangrove trees in order to make ends meet. But cutting trees reduces habitat and nurseries for fish and other species, damaging the fishery even further. As deforestation accelerates, devastating drought flood cycles emerge and coastal erosion gets worse. This leads to even greater poverty, which leads in turn to greater degradation in order to meet short-term needs. This is the trap that we are in today, a vicious cycle in which environmental degradation and poverty are inextricably connected. Understanding that connection leads to an astonishing truth. If ecological degradation leads to poverty, then ecology leads to wealth. If we are to feed the world without destroying the planet, this realization is crucial. At Regenerative Resources, we know that it doesn't make sense to grow trees unless we address why people are cutting down trees in the first place. In partnership with local communities, we develop powerful nature-based solutions that approach both economy and ecology together. We create circular, regenerative economies by transforming degraded landscapes into productive agroecologies. This transformation, in turn, creates the space and resources to regrow lost ecosystems. The ecosystems we focus on are mangroves, seagrass meadows, and marsh, all of which are crucial to ocean and planetary health. We are pioneers of regenerative seawater agricultures and hyper-arid agroforestries. We have taken on the most challenging and degraded landscapes on Earth with some of the most ambitious regenerative projects to date, with extraordinary results. At Seawater Farms Eritrea, we transformed a degraded coastal desert into a series of mangrove agroforestries and wetlands, and without the use of any fresh water, created jobs for over 800 people and food for thousands. This laid the foundation for a new regenerative rural economy, while also increasing biodiversity by 1,000%, cooling local temperatures by 2 degrees Celsius, and rejuvenating freshwater resources, all in an area highly prone to drought and famine. This was the first iteration of our regenerative seawater agroforestries. At the Al Bayla project in Saudi Arabia, we partnered with Bedouin tribes to restore indigenous grazing systems, and in the process reversed over a century of desertification in under a decade, and established a living template for the reforestation of the west coast of the Arabian Peninsula. We formed Regenerative Resources with the mission to develop regenerative economies and restore degraded ecosystems in collaboration with local communities around the globe. Our goals are to grow millions of acres of mangrove forests, seagrass meadows, and marshlands, sequester gigatons of carbon, increase freshwater resources, and provide habitat for billions of animals, all while creating new economic systems based on agroecologies that reinforce ecological health. These and other regenerative systems are how we feed the world without destroying the planet. By cooperating with Mother Earth and her cycles, rather than attempting to dominate them. By partnering with local communities rather than trying to dictate solutions. And by aligning how we produce our food, fuel, and fiber with ecological processes. Our systems are among the most powerful solutions, not just to climate and carbon, but to poverty, famine, drought, biodiversity and habitat loss, and the rest of that doom and gloom story that we all know. Now it's time to write a new story. A story about working together to create solutions. A story about transformation, not just of lands, but of people. A story about regeneration.